Over the last few weeks, I took a video camera out and I videotaped all of the major neighborhoods in Palm Coast, Florida here. And we get questions about what's the difference between each of these particular areas, and we're going to show you those up next, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome to the Living in Palm Coast channel. I'm Bill Bishop and I'm a realtor here in Palm Coast, Florida. And what I did over the last few weeks actually is I took a video camera out and I have videotaped all the major neighborhoods here in Palm Coast. And people always ask, what's the difference between each of these neighborhoods. Now, what's kind of interesting is that when Palm Coast was kind of developed, when they started building out Palm Coast, they sectioned off each of the neighborhoods. And if you decide to move here, what you're going to find out if you walk around or if you talk to people around town is that, and you ask them where they live, a lot of them are going to say I live in the P section or live in the W section or the R section. Well, that's kind of that's the way people differentiate the neighborhoods around here. Now, if you're interested in checking out the area and need help in looking at a home or checking out the area, we'd love to talk to you. So, send us a text, shoot us a email if you have any questions about what it's like to live, work, play, and retire here in Palm Coast, Florida. So with that said, we're going to get into our kind of the great neighborhoods of Palm Coast. And when I say great neighborhoods, I mean about 80% of the people are going to be in the neighborhoods that I spent the last few weeks just videotaping. So we're going to get into that right now, I guess. Alright, so we're going to start off in the P section, and now the P section is a kind of a major area. It's kind of located in the center of town, and again, as you kind of go through here, I'm not going to really discuss much. Now, if you look on here, the P section is, and this map, by the way, that I'm looking at right here, I've got kind of a neighborhood map that's available in the description box below if you want to take a look at it. But basically the P section is sort of two areas. One is the Pine Grove area, which is the southern, and then the northern one is the Belle Terre neighborhood. But as you'll notice, if you're not familiar with Palm Coast, if you've never been down here, most of the drainage occurs along the cul-de-sacs, as you can see along each of the roads. So they have, or cul-de-sacs, I should say, culverts, kind of drainage ditches, so to speak, and that kind of takes care of. So there's no. I've never really heard of these neighborhoods ever really having any kind of drainage or flood problems. I know there's retaining ponds and areas all around these neighborhoods, but as you can see, the drainage goes under the driveways, and you go through these series of culverts, and everybody has them in their yard. The roads also, you'll see, here's some construction that's taken place. And you'll notice in these neighborhoods in Palm Coast is that in any of the neighborhoods that you go in, you're going to find new construction happening. So a lot of vacant lots, a lot of lots for sale, where you can pick a lot up for, say, 50 to 75,000, roughly that range, depending on the neighborhood. But that seems to be kind of a medium range for these lots that are located. Now, the next section we're going to go to here is the next section we're going to go to here is the Pine Grove, and that's part of the P section as well. But basically, on these drive-by videos, or these videos that here we go. This is one of the things too in the P section is they have some of the elementary and middle schools are located there. They also have a racket and swim, the Palm Coast Aquatics area. This is, I believe, the Belle, Terre Swim and Racket Club, and that's available to join. If you don't have a pool, for example, at your house, you can join these kind of city-run clubs, and this is one of them. And there's another one here, which is the Palm Coast Aquatic Center. So you know, that's where all the swim meets for the high school and all those kinds of things occur. We're still in the P section here, but I wanted to also mention that, you know, here's some more construction. These houses are going up all over. I wanted you to also take a look at like the distance between the homes. One thing I did want to say too is that, you know, if you are thinking about, you know, taking moving down here and you'd like help or assistance in finding a home, you know, we're always available here. The phone number's on the screen, and all of our contact information is in the description box, and we'd love to help you out. There's tons of people moving here, and it's a nice community, so wanted to extend that offer. And the next section we're going to go to is the W section. Now, the W section is also known as the Pine Lakes section, because the Pine Lakes Golf Course is actually located in this section. And it's, how can I describe? Pine Lakes is an Arnold Palmer golf course. I think I'm going to show you here this in a minute. But as you can see, the Pine Lakes Golf Course is located kind of right in the middle of that section. And so there's a lot of houses that are located around. One of the things that people use to describe these, like the Pine Lakes area, for example, is it's kind of like being in a gated community without the gate. So you have these kind of meandering streets, and that's the one thing about Palm Coast, is that you definitely have to bring your GPS when you're out driving around, because there's no real grid system in Palm Coast, which is a good thing, I think, is because it slows the traffic down. For example, these neighborhoods at night are going to be, there's not a lot of traffic on the roads, period, for example, in the evening especially. But you also notice that there's no street lights, so you know, which is, I think, is a good thing. I'm not a big fan of street lights. I don't like the kind of light pollution. So if you had a street light right outside your house, and you know, you had your drapes open at night, and you have this blaring street light coming in, that's not something I particularly like. So the fact that there aren't a lot of street lights here in these neighborhoods, as you can see. All right, so the next neighborhood we're going to go to is the R section, or the Lehigh Woods neighborhood. And this is a neighborhood that's considered, you know, it's really well priced, as is the P section, to be honest, for the kind of homes you get and the type, you know, the amount of home that you get and the size lots and so forth. They're pretty well priced. But the R section also is an area, and to be honest, you know, Palm Coast is, compared to any other coastal town, and the ability and the proximity that you have towards the beaches, is really, I mean, for example, like here in even in the R section, which is considered to be kind of far away from the beaches, it's really only a you know, a 15-minute beach ride, or a 15-minute car ride to get to the beaches, even from these sections, even from these areas that are kind of considered to be kind of away from the beach area. Some nice houses here in the section, and like I said, I'm not gonna try to sway your opinion on any of these areas. I'm just gonna let the film roll. So yeah, I just did this little map here to show that you're 17 minutes from the farthest, from the farthest part away from, and then you're about 15 minutes to get to the beach from from this far out. If that's important to you. Oh, and as you can kind of see, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but there aren't any sidewalks. But really, to be honest, there's not a lot of traffic in these neighborhoods, unless you're on kind of a thoroughfare, which is very few of those. These neighborhoods don't get a lot of traffic, so if you're out walking your dog, it's not a big deal. Also, this is a duplex, so in the R section, I will mention that there are more multifamily, more duplexes. I wouldn't say multifamily, more duplexes. So here's two side-by-side duplexes, which is fine, but that's just something you need to know. And as you can tell, with all the homes built here, they're pretty much all of them are block construction. Now the next neighborhood we're going to go to is the east section, which is the Cypress Knoll neighborhood, which is again the other other public golf course here. I think they have some memberships and so forth as well, but this is I believe okay, there's Cypress Knoll golf course, and also right next to it, just to mention, that is Grand Reserve, which is a kind of a big new development with a lot of newer homes. It's a planned development, so you've got 2 or 3 builders in there just building tons of homes. It's called Grand Reserve. If you're interested in taking a look at that as well, it can help you out. So this is the Pine Lakes Golf Course, and I can't remember, I think it's Tom Watson maybe, who designed this, or Gary Player, that's right, Gary Player designed the Pine Lakes Golf Course. As you can see, the roads just kind of wind around, and you get some nice big lots, and so that's the R section. Or, I'm sorry, this is the Cypress Knoll area. So a lot of these homes here are going to have golf course views. Can't really see from the street, but a lot of them do. And by the way, I broke this video up into 2 sections because we have about 12 of these neighborhoods, and I want to kind of give time to each one. And so I broke it up into part 1 and part 2, and we're going to go over like 4 or 5 neighborhoods today, and then my next video I'm going to have the rest of them. So the next section I have here is the Z and the L section, which is Quayle Hollow, which is sort of down in the southern area of town, and you seem to get a bigger lot in this area. And you're also closer to Daytona, if you work in Daytona, or I know that a lot of people who do work in Daytona live up here in Palm Coast. I see a lot of Daytona police cars here, so that's I guess something to be said. But this isn't like in the southern area, and you're going to have, I think, a little bit bigger lots here because you're out from the kind of the core area of where Palm Coast has most of its population. These neighborhoods that I'm showing you too, by the way, are probably where 80% of the Palm Coast lives. Take note of how much distance you have between your houses. Some neighborhoods you're not going to have quite as much. Here's a big new construction home. It kind of gives you an idea of the distance between the homes. So that's basically it. We wanted to, what's this now? So this is still the Z neighborhood here. These outskirt neighborhoods kind of have some cool medians here, kind of breaks things up a little bit, makes you feel like you have a little bit more room between the homes. But a lot of families live out in these neighborhoods because you get a little bit more house, and there's a lot of places to just roam. You can just send the kids out on their bikes and they'll be fine. Looks like here's a lot that's getting ready to be cleared. You see, we recently had a rain there, so there's some water. Anyway, I wanted to, this is the first of, this is going to be part one of in the next neighborhoods. We're going to try to get all of the neighborhoods that are on the map that is in the description box below. And again, I'm Bill Bishop. I'm a realtor here in Palm Coast. Love to work with you. We get calls from people all the time. Wondering what it's like to live, work, and play and retire here in Palm Coast. And, just give us a call, shoot us a text if you have any interest in checking out the area. We get a lot of people calling us and love to talk to people about the area. So anyway, again, until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.